There's a doctor in this story. 12 years of school, residency, the whole thing. She's been making $280,000 a year for the last decade. Beautiful house, a car that costs more than most people's first condos, vacations that make strangers feel briefly bad about their own lives. By every visible measure, she is winning. There's also a teacher in this story. 31 years in the same district, same classroom, same parking spot. Never made more than $67,000 in any single year. Drives a 2014 Corolla with a bumper sticker she's been meaning to remove since 2019. By every visible measure, she is living a perfectly ordinary life. The teacher will retire more comfortably than the doctor. Not slightly, significantly. And the doctor won't see it coming until there's very little she can do about it. My name's Josh, and I've spent an uncomfortable amount of time figuring out why high incomes don't automatically produce wealthy retirements. If you've ever assumed that making more money means retiring better, stick around, because today I'm going to show you exactly how that assumption becomes the most expensive mistake a high earner can make. Subscribe if you want more of this, and hit the thumbs up if this one changes how you think about your own number.
Meet them properly. Dr. Claire, orthopedic surgeon, 11 years in. Base salary, $285,000. She maxes her 401k every year, which already puts her ahead of roughly 95% of the country. She is not reckless, she's not gambling or buying things that depreciate on a dock somewhere. She's doing the responsible things. She also has a mortgage on a $1.1 million home. 2 car payments totaling $2,200 a month, private school tuition for 2 kids at $38,000 a year, and a general cost of living that runs around $18,000 a month after tax. High income lifestyle perfectly engineered to consume it. Then there's Janet, 31 years teaching middle school science. Peak salary, $67,000. Paid off house in a neighborhood she bought before it was fashionable, the Corolla, road trip vacations, retirement accounts quietly filling since she was 26. Never dramatically, just steadily, every single month without exception. Here is the number that reframes everything. When Claire retires, she'll need somewhere around $375,000 a year just to maintain her current lifestyle. That sounds obvious until you apply the math. Most financial planners work from a simple rule. You need roughly 25 times your annual expenses saved before retirement is actually safe. 25 times $375,000 is $9.375 million. Not to be rich, just to keep what she already has. Janet, whose lifestyle costs about $42,000 a year, needs roughly $1.05 million. A number she quietly crossed 4 years ago. She's been technically retirement ready for 4 years and just kept teaching because she genuinely likes it. Claire, despite earning more than 4 times Janet's salary every single year for over a decade, is not retirement ready. She probably won't be until her mid-60s at the earliest. And here's the part that stings. Claire has been maxing her 401k the whole time. She's been doing the thing. She just didn't notice that the thing she was doing was getting proportionally smaller every year relative to what she actually needs.
This is the mechanic behind it, and it has 2 layers most people only see one of. The first layer is lifestyle creep. Spend more as you earn more. Everyone knows that one. The second layer is what I call the retirement multiplier trap, and it's the one that actually ruins high-income retirements. Here's how it works. Every dollar you add to your monthly lifestyle doesn't just cost money now, it permanently raises the price of your retirement. Every $1,000 a month you add to your living expenses adds roughly $300,000 to the total savings you need before you can stop working. Claire's $18,000 a month in living expenses isn't just expensive today, it's a promise her future self made without realizing it. Because retiring into a life that feels dramatically smaller than the one you spent your career building is psychologically almost impossible. The lifestyle doesn't just cost money, it locks in a retirement exit price that compounds against you for the rest of your working life.
Janet never built that trap. Not because she was heroically disciplined, but because her income ceiling kept her lifestyle ceiling nearby. She couldn't accidentally lock in a $9 million retirement requirement because she never made enough to build the lifestyle that demands one. Her constraints did the work that Claire's income made optional. And optional financial discipline, for most people, tends to quietly disappear. This is the hidden tax on a high income. Not the IRS kind, though that one's real too. The psychological one. When you can afford something, the question of whether you should stops feeling urgent. And by the time it starts feeling urgent again, the lifestyle is already load-bearing. You can't easily remove private school without disrupting your kids. Can't easily sell the house without disrupting your family. Can't easily drop the car payments without feeling like you're moving backward. The golden handcuffs aren't just about the job. They're about the entire structure of the life you built around the job.
Here's what I want you to actually do with this. Calculate your own retirement multiplier right now. Take your current monthly expenses, multiply by 12, then multiply by 25. That number is your real retirement target, not a generic figure from a planning website. Your specific number for your specific life. Most people who do this for the first time are genuinely surprised by the result. High earners especially tend to skip this exercise, maybe because they sense it won't be comfortable. Claire's number is $9.375 million. Janet's is $1.05 million. The gap between those two targets is not explained by their income difference. Claire earns 4 times what Janet earned. Her retirement requirement is nearly 9 times larger because the lifestyle scaled faster than the savings rate and then locked in permanently. The fix isn't selling the house. It isn't pulling kids out of school. It's 2 things, and neither one is dramatic if you start early enough. First, run the retirement multiplier honestly and reverse engineer the savings rate you actually need, not the one that feels comfortable, the one the math requires. For most high earners doing this exercise for the first time, that number lands somewhere between 20% and 35% of gross income, higher than most are currently hitting, but completely achievable without dismantling the lifestyle if time is still on your side. Second, treat every future raise differently than every previous one. Commit in advance that at least half of every income increase goes to retirement savings before the new number has time to feel normal, not after the raise settles in, the day it's announced. Because that window, the day before the new salary becomes your new baseline, is the only window where this is psychologically easy. Wait a month, and your brain has already decided the money was always yours to spend. Janet isn't a hero. She isn't smarter or more virtuous than Claire. She just never had the option to build a life that outpaced her savings rate. So she didn't. Claire has every option. That's the problem. The highest paid person in the room is not automatically the one who retires first. They're often the last one out the door, still working at 68 because the life they built at 42 turned out to cost more than the portfolio they built quietly in the background could ever support. That's not a retirement. That's a sentence. Run the number while you still have time to change it.